Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. I know it's been a little while and I've only posted one other video on here, and unfortunately for me a lot of that had to do with issues with my traditional camera setup, which I think I've finally worked out, and then also I was having issues with Premiere and having it crash every time I tried to render video. I found out pretty quickly that I have to record things in small chunks, otherwise Premiere hates me, so I have to stop and start and stop and start, but I'm getting better at it, I hope. And the piece you're seeing on the screen right now is another one of my original characters. She is the goddess of the moon in my story, and she is one of the deities who I have set up for the world that I'm currently writing. This piece in particular, I ended up starting with a reference, and I really ended up liking where the drawing was going, so I started recording, and I kind of used this as a test to see A, if my new camera setup worked right, and B, if I could record myself and not seem like a jackass. Unfortunately for me, and you'll see throughout this video, a lot of the time I am doing my artwork off camera because I don't pay attention like I should. I think right here through the inking is where I stayed in the frame the most. Then once you get into the coloring, I would say a third of it is off screen, and I vow to make a better effort on that. Anyway, so I'm pretty pleased with it and how it ended up turning out. There were some anatomy issues with it, like one of her hands is a little too big, and then her legs were way too short. And I ended up fixing that up later in Photoshop, and I like how it ended up turning out. It doesn't look nearly as bad as it could have. But for a little piece from my sketchbook, I'm pretty happy with it. And overall, it took me about 3 hours from start to finish. And I know you'll notice that the lighting changes all over the place with this, and that's because I was recording it throughout the day, because I have, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there in order to work on stuff in between doing everything else I need to do as a nanny. So, as the day wore on and the sun went down, then I had to change the lighting setup and stuff like that, but I don't think it turned out horrible, so let me know what you guys think. But since this is going to be my first video of the new year, and it seems like everybody talks about resolutions, I'll talk about some of mine. And of course I have some of the regular resolutions that everybody has at the beginning of the new year, and that includes trying to lose some weight, because I'm not a skinny mini. I'm not super fat, but I could use to lose a few pounds. And of course being more attentive to the world around me and stuff like that. But a majority of what I want to talk about on here is my goals for my art. And one of the goals that I have that relates to my art and also to my health would be I want to start going out and hiking. In case you guys don't know, I actually live out in Hawaii, and there are hundreds of places for me to go and do hikes and all that kind of stuff, and in all honesty, when it comes down to it, I am in a prime location for great reference when it comes to the outdoors, and I'm not utilizing it like I should, and so I hope to change that this year. Also, for this year, I want to finish editing through my comic. I have finished the writing process on it. Now I am just going through and doing the editing. And I want to have that all finished up by the end of February. And then hopefully by the beginning of March, I will be able to start paneling my comic. I did try to start paneling it too early before because I was impatient and I wanted to do the art part because that's the fun part for me. But then I ended up changing major points at the beginning of the story, and so I had to scrap all the panels that I had started. So I decided, okay, I'll wait until I am happy with the script and then I will actually panel it out. Then I also hope by the end of this year I will be able to release the first chapter of the comic for people to read, and I'm not sure where I'm going to post it yet, but I'll get back to you on that once I finally decide where to go. Then, also, for my art, I really hope to finish at least one piece a week, one decent piece a week, and I do hope to record a majority of those. Some of them will not be recorded because I'll be finishing up pieces that I started before I even started this channel, so I've got to get those done, especially because some of them are stuff that I want to sell at conventions, and once those are done, then I can get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Then, speaking of conventions, I'm really hoping this year that I can sell at least 3. I have 2 pretty much in the bag. One of them I'm just waiting to hear back on the dates for my stay in the area, because one of them is in California and I'll be going to the mainland in May, and I'm hoping that, you know, my situation with where I'm staying and stuff like that and the people I'm visiting will coincide with me being able to do that convention. But the second one will obviously be here in Hawaii, and then the third one, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. There is another convention in Hawaii out here that I can be a part of, but I'm also trying to be a part of one of the bigger ones on the mainland before I come back from my trip. We'll see what happens, right? Then, one of the things I want to continue doing, which I started last year around Inktober, was daily posting on Instagram. That is the social media area that I am the most active. I post at least once a day, give or take a couple of days because my mother was in town this month. But I try to post every single day on Instagram, and I have sketches on there and some more finished work. So if you want to go check that out, my Instagram is punkydumplin. But I want to continue posting on there on a daily, and then I also need to learn how to use Twitter and Tumblr, because I'm an old lady and they confuse me and their interfaces are not user-friendly for people who aren't active on social media like me, because I'm horrible with social media, to be honest. I'm really bad at it. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, look on the screen right now, I'm going through what I fixed in Photoshop, and in all honesty, I'm not the best at Photoshop, and I'm working my way through making sure I can edit my traditional pieces properly on there, but I think I did an alright job in making it look okay, and I hope you guys liked the piece, and if you want to continue seeing my artwork, go on ahead and subscribe, and if you don't, I'm okay with that. Have a great day, y'all. Bye!